The Itch by Paul Nicholson. Book 1. Somewhere on your back, in a place you can't quite reach, lives an itch. Every day he sits in his little armchair, smoking his little pipe and reading his little newspaper. He's a simple fellow, and his home, your back, is quite bare. So from time to time he gets bored and likes to wander round. "Ooh, scratch my back," you say. "No, more to the left. No, the other left. Quick, it's escaping." If you're lucky, someone who can reach your back will scratch their fingernails all over it, and eventually the itch will go away. But if nobody's around, you will get so frustrated that you will try to bend your elbows backwards to scratch it yourself. When you realize you can't reach it, you will try to find a doorway or something to act as a scratching post to get at it. "You pesky itch," you say. "You're always getting up to mischief." Sometimes the itch wanders all over your arm, all over your head, and all the way down to your feet. He's covered in prickly fuzz, and this falls off as he crawls all over you, irritating your skin. You're itchy reading this right now, aren't you? "Hello, Mr. Mosquito," says Mr. Itch in a friendly voice. "Got much on today?" "Bonjour, Monsieur Itch," replies Mr. Mosquito. Work, I must always to be working, no?" "Say," asks Mr. Itch, "can you teach me how to make that really annoying, high-pitched meep sound that stops when you land?" "Can't bark, eeping, my mouth is full," says Mr. Mosquito, whose mouth is full. "So sorry to disturb you." "No at all." Mr. Mosquito finishes his meal, wipes his mouth, and gestures to the fresh red lump he just made on your ankle. "Enjoy." "Why, thank you, Mr. Mosquito," says Mr. Itch. "I find your bite lumps to be most comfortable." "Au revoir, have a nice day," says Mr. Mosquito as he meeps away. "You too," calls Mr. Itch as he lays out his picnic blanket over the lump and begins unpacking his lunch from his little picnic basket. "I must learn how to meep like that." Suddenly, 4 giant fingernails tear out of the sky. "Oh no, not again," squeals Mr. Itch. The fingernails land right beside Mr. Itch and dig into the ground, violently ploughing through everything in their path. Dead skin cells, the picnic blanket, his lunch, and Mr. Itch all go flying into the air. Cough, cough, splutter, cough. "Terrible weather we're having," jokes Mr. Itch to himself in a lonely voice. He staggers around, bruised and dizzy, to retrieve his picnic blanket and lunch that have been scattered everywhere. He picks it all up and takes it back to the lovely red lump that Mr. Mosquito made moments earlier. "Now where was I?" thinks Mr. Itch as he nestles his fuzzy butt comfortably onto the lump in your ankle. "Oh, that's right, lunch. Yummy, this looks delish." The sky is torn apart by the giant fingernails once more. Mr. Itch sees them coming this time, and dive rolls out of the way to his left. Skin flakes are swept into the air as the nails scream through his picnic. He somersaults to his right. He ducks, he weaves, he runs, he jumps, and he keeps running. The nails keep coming again and again, flicking up a blinding storm of dead skin cells that blacken out the sky. Mr. Itch becomes exhausted. In the darkness, he trips and falls. Cowering into a little ball, he shields his face from the mayhem with his arms and knees. The ground rumbles. The wind howls. The screeching sounds of gigantic fingernails vibrate through his little spine, and he shakes with fear. But still the fingernails keep coming, again and again, hunting him, trying to kill him. Amidst the dark chaos, Mr. Itch is lost, and suddenly the scratching stops. The fingernails disappear back into the sky. As the dust settles, the sky becomes clear, but Mr. Itch is nowhere to be seen. His little blanket falls from the sky, twirling its way down to land on a little lump underneath all of that dust and debris. But where is Mr. Itch? The little lump coughs. Mr. Itch slowly rises to his feet, covered in dust. "Those fingernails ruin everything," says Mr. Itch. "I need to think of a way to stop them." In the middle of the night, by the light of his little desk lamp, Mr. Itch sits at his little office chair and begins to draw up his plans. Those pesky fingernails are a menace and have to be stopped. They always come at once, usually in groups of 4. So if I move all over the place really quickly, they might get tired and stop coming down from the sky to chase after me all the time." Mr. Itch smiles. He switches off the lamp and goes to bed so he can get up early. The next day, you are sitting down to eat your breakfast. You put your spoon down to scratch the back of your hand, then pick it up to continue eating. You put the spoon down, rub your itchy nose, then continue eating. You scratch inside your ear for a second, then the side of your head, then the back of your neck, then put the food in your mouth. You swallow and put the spoon down. Knee scratch. Oh, that's itchy. Lower back scratch. Even itchier. Chest scratch. You take off your shoe. Why are you so itchy? Even the soles of your feet are itchy. Back of your leg scratch. Forearm itchy. Eyes itchy. You rub your eyes. What is going on? Belly itchy. Nose itchy. Chin itchy. You are itchy all over. You are moving around so much to scratch everywhere that you are doing the itchy dance. Scratch, 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 scratch. You reach over your shoulder and push your elbow so you can scratch further back. You're so itchy. "That's it," you shout. Later that day, you are in the doctor's office, scratching in the chair. "What seems to be the matter?" asks Mrs. Doctor. "What do you think the matter is?" you snap. "I'm itchy." "Oh, that's easy to fix," says Mrs. Doctor. "Apply this cream wherever you are itchy, and the itch will go away." "Excellent, thank you," you say as you smile at the tube of Kill Itch cream in your hand. "That pesky itch won't know what hit him." "Good luck with that," says Mrs. Doctor, clearly thinking you might be crazy. You get home, sit down, and begin to unscrew the lid of the Kill Itch cream, smiling angrily. "Meep. Good morning, Monsieur Itch," says Mr. Mosquito as he lands on the back of your knee with his briefcase. "Good morning, Mr. Mosquito," says Mr. Itch in a happy voice. "You are very cheerful this morning," says Mr. Mosquito in a meepy voice. "A little bit covered in dust, but cheerful. Sleep well?" "I did actually," says Mr. Itch as he begins to unpack his picnic basket. "I think I finally fixed a problem." "That's good," says Mr. Mosquito as he slurps the blood out of the back of your knee. He finishes eating, opens his briefcase, removes his napkin, dabs his nose, then puts the napkin away. "I must be flying. I have heaps of work to do. I am so pleased you fixed your problem," says Mr. Mosquito. "Au revoir." "Meep." "Meep too," says Mr. Itch as he lays down his picnic blanket over the soft red lump Mr. Mosquito has kindly just made for him. "Meep too." He lies back to enjoy the sunshine and accidentally presses his prickly fuzz deep into your skin. Right at this moment, the back of your knee becomes really, really itchy. "You want to fight me, Itch?" you say. "Fight this!" You take a big glob of the cream that Mrs. Doctor gave you and begin moving it towards the back of your knee. Mr. Itch is lying back on his comfortable picnic blanket, enjoying the sunshine. "Ah, this is much better," says Mr. Itch. "Peace at last." Suddenly, the sky goes dark. "What's happening?" A giant slimy finger comes out of the sky and begins smearing cream all over Mr. Itch and his picnic. "No, no, it burns!" Mr. Itch watches as his picnic blanket begins bubbling and dissolving away. Then his picnic basket, then Mr. Itch. "My fuzz! My beautiful fuzz!" Mr. Itch crawls off weakly, staggering and falling, coughing and spluttering, covered in chemical burns and naked without his beautiful fuzz. He finally arrives home and collapses on the floor, exhausted. "This is much better," you say. "Peace at last." Days pass. Mr. Itch is sweating, shivering under his blanket at home on your back, ill with fever. "Meep, you don't look so good," says Mr. Mosquito as he comes in for landing. "No," coughs Mr. Itch. "Stay away. It's not safe here." "This is something Monsieur Mosquito here all the time." He lands and begins to make Mr. Itch a cup of soup. "Here, she make you feel better." "Thank you, Mr. Mosquito," says Mr. Itch as he takes a sip. "I am feeling a little better." "This is a good thing. Come, Monsieur Mosquito take you to work and make you a nice lump." "That does sound nice," says Mr. Itch as he climbs onto Mr. Mosquito's back. Mr. Mosquito flies up over your shoulder, making sure to make a really annoying meep sound as he flies past your ear. You try to swat him away, but you keep missing. "Ha ha," laughs Mr. Itch. "You are so annoying." "We train for a long time, no?" Mr. Mosquito lands on your inner elbow. "Ah, he looks nice." "Are you sure it's safe?" asks Mr. Itch as he dismounts and wraps his little blanket tight around his shoulders. "It feels not safe." "Relax," says Mr. Mosquito. "I do this all the time. I make extra big lump for you this time, yes?" Mr. Mosquito opens his briefcase, pulls out his napkin, tucks it into his collar, and squish! "Stupid mosquito," you say as you wipe Mr. Mosquito's guts on your jeans. Mr. Itch weakly lets his soup pour out of his cup as he walks towards Mr. Mosquito's dying, broken body. "Monsieur Mosquito? Meep," says Mr. Itch caringly. "You finally do it, kid," gasps Mr. Mosquito through a broken-toothed smile. "Got the accent down and everything." A giant fingernail swoops out of the sky and flicks Mr. Mosquito into oblivion. "No!" cries Mr. Itch in anguish as he drops his cup in slow motion. He squeezes his eyes tightly, falls to his knees, and begins to cry. He has lost his only friend. Beneath his little blanket, a little fist punches the floor, and when Mr. Itch looks up, his eyes are full of anger. A breeze billows his blanket over his shoulders like a cape as he looks with new resolve towards the horizon. "If it's a war you want fingernails, you got it!" Book 2. Over the next few weeks, while you were laughing at the beach, Mr. Itch was doing push-ups. While you were singing a happy song along with the car radio, Mr. Itch was doing chin-ups. While you were eating ice cream, Mr. Itch was doing leg stretches. He became strong, and his fuzz grew back, pricklier than ever. A Mr. Itch-sized hand forces itself into a fingerless glove. Whip! A utility belt is buckled. Click! A bandolier is loaded with its final shotgun shell. Whop! Your day of reckoning has arrived. He straightens out the last of his perfectly regrown fuzz to make sure he's extra prickly. Going! Mr. Itch tightens his little headband. Down! He ka-chucks his little shotgun. His face is determined and uncompromising. The nice little Itch we all knew and loved has been replaced by a merciless itching machine. The itch of vengeance. You have just fallen asleep with a smile on your face, happy with your itch-free lifestyle. It's dark. Mr. Itch squats, poised on your ear. This is the moment he's been waiting for. He lowers his night vision goggles over his little eyes. He's ready. Meep. You stir in your sleep, swipe the air beside your ear, roll onto your other side and start snoring again. Meep. You wake a bit, annoyed by something in your other ear this time, but not sure and too tired to care. You lazily pull your earlobe, rub your nose, and try to get back to your dream. Meep. There must be a mozzie in the room somewhere. You'll wave your hands around your face and sit up, looking around in the dark, quite annoyed. You hold your breath and listen. Silence. It must have gone away. Your eyes grow heavy and you lie back down again. You pull the blanket over your face just in case it comes back. You start drifting off. That's it. You jump out of bed and turn the light on. Where are you? You ask the invisible mosquito. Mr. Itch is suddenly blinded by the bright lights through his night vision goggles as he falls onto your shoulder. He takes them off and throws them away. He rubs his eyes, gets his bearings, and his vision clears. He flexes his prickly fuzz, gets a run-up, and rolls over the back of your neck to the other shoulder. You reach behind your head to scratch the back of your neck. Stupid mosquito. Mr. Itch rolls up over your head in all directions, releasing prickly fuzz all over it. Now your head is itchy. You scratch your head until your hair gets all messed up. You look around the room angrily. You can't see any mosquito. You stand still and wait, but so does Mr. Itch. He's standing right on top of your forehead with his hands on his hips and a wicked smile. You switch off the light and prepare to go back to bed. You open your eyes wide to see better in the dark with your arms out in front of you. As you find the edge of your bed with your knee, Mr. Itch rolls down your forehead, throws down a grappling hook, jumps off your eyebrow with a rope attached to his belt, and cocks his shotgun as he swings past your face in slow motion. Blam! A shotgun shell filled with prickly fuzz explodes in your left eye. "Ow!" you say in slow motion. "What the—" As you reach to rub your eye, the itch of vengeance continues to swing past your right eye. Blam! A second shell explodes in your right eye. "What's happening?" Mr. Itch does a triple flip and lands like a superhero on your right ear, his grappling hook recoiling into his utility belt like the power cord on a vacuum cleaner. You whack your shin on the edge of the bed and fall onto the floor, rubbing your eyes with one hand and your knee with the other. You stumble around the room in the darkness, fumbling to find the light switch on the wall somewhere. You find the door handle instead and open the door. You walk to the bathroom. You turn the tap on, cup your hands full of water and try to wash the sting out of your eyes. Neep! You whack yourself in the side of the head with a wet hand to kill the mozzie. Ow! Neep! You whack yourself in the other side of the head. Ow! Why am I whacking myself? You wash your eyes out with water, blinking furiously, and grab the towel. You dry your eyes and spin the towel into a whip. Mr. Itch slides down your back, dragging his prickly bum all the way down. You whip at your back to try to kill the itch. Ow! Why am I whipping myself? You turn on the shower, and while you're getting undressed, you're just getting itchier and itchier and itchier as the itch of vengeance rolls all over your body, releasing prickly, irritating fuzz everywhere. You jump into the shower, scratching yourself red. Mr. Itch jumps off you and onto the sink. "All right, Itch, if chemicals didn't burn you to death, then hot water will." You turn the hot water on full while turning off the cold water completely. Within 2 seconds, the water is so hot that it's scalding. "Ow! Why am I burning myself?" you scream as you jump out of the shower, stubbing your toe on the shower edge. "Ow!" You sit on the floor in a puddle, gritting your teeth as you squeeze your toe in pain. You groan angrily as you breathe heavily. "I'm gonna get you, Itch!" Mr. Itch stands on the sink with his arms folded, satisfied and smiling. He looks down at you in pain on the floor. "Ha ha ha! I told you that you were going down! I win! I'm gonna get you, Itch!" you say again, this time with sadness in your voice. Mr. Itch uncrosses his arms. "I'm gonna get you!" You start crying as you wrap yourself in the towel and lie down on the bathroom floor with the shower still running, crying and exhausted. Mr. Itch looks at you with pity for the first time. He tilts his head with a newfound curiosity. Fingernails have feelings? You stand up and sadly turn off the hot water in the shower. The bathroom is full of steam. You stand at the sink and wipe your hand over the fogged-up mirror. Your eyes are red from crying and irritation. "Why me?" you ask your reflection. "Because you deserve it," replies a tiny voice that echoes out from the sink. "I must be hearing things." You turn out the bathroom light. Mr. Itch jumps onto your back to come with you. You are where he lives after all, his home. You go into the kitchen, pour yourself a glass of water and sit down to take a sip. You put your elbows on the table and rub your temples with your fingertips. What a night. You stare absently at the glass of water. Mr. Itch jumps down onto the table and starts pacing. "What's happening? Why are my enemies with my home? My home should be a nice place to live, not a dangerous place where I need to fight for survival. Look at me. Look what I've become. Look at what I've done to my home. I've made it cry." "Hello?" you say. "Is someone there?" Mr. Itch looks up at you from behind the glass of water. Can it hear him? "Hello?" says Mr. Itch. You squint through the glass of water and see a tiny ball of fuzz on the dimly lit table. You look behind the glass and there's nothing there. "Now I'm hearing and seeing things." Your phone is charging on the table, so you pick it up to take your mind off things. As you switch it on and the screen lights up, a tiny ball of fuzz-sized shadow is cast onto the kitchen table. You look through the glass again. There, magnified by the water in the glass, is a fuzzy little creature. He looks tired. "Are you my itch?" you ask Mr. Itch. Says Mr. Itch. "I can't hear you," you say. "Wait a second." You go to the shelf to get another glass. "Jump in here so your voice will be louder," you say. You hold the glass beside the fuzzball and gesture for him to get in. Mr. Itch looks from the empty glass to the giant face staring, magnified back at him. He looks at the empty glass again. He sees the demon fingernails like talons holding the prisoned glass in their evil grip. If he went inside, his home might trap him and kill him. They weren't exactly friends. What should he do? His home was his enemy, but it had been crying. Does crying make someone nice? Book 3. "I'm not getting in there," says Mr. Itch as he crosses his arms. "What?" you say. You can't hear him at all. "Get in the glass." "No," says Mr. Itch. "Get in the glass," you say again. "No," says Mr. Itch. You can see the little fuzzball crossing his arms and being disobedient. "Get in," you say, and you try to flick him into the glass. Mr. Itch dive rolls out of the way. "Where did you go?" you ask the invisible Itch. You look through the magnifying glass of water. "There you are." You lower the glass near Mr. Itch and get ready to trap him. Mr. Itch is ready to dive away. You put your finger next to him. He dives out of the way of your finger, but you're ready with the glass, and you quickly plunk it on the table over Mr. Itch. He's trapped inside. "Let me out," says Mr. Itch as he jumps against the middle of the glass. He can't escape. The glass is too heavy for him. "I just want to use the glass as an amplification system so that I can hear you," you say. You're not trying to kill him at the moment, but while he's in the glass, he can't make you itchy either. "I could just kill you right now," you think out loud. "Then I won't be itchy ever again." "I can't hear you," says Mr. Itch, who can't hear you. Just then, you hear an annoying meep noise going past your ear. "Not another mosquito," you say as you try to shoo it away. Mr. Itch watches in amazement as Mr. Mosquito flies down to land beside him on the table. "You're alive," says Mr. Itch as he smiles through the glass at his old friend. "If I may be so bold," begins Mr. Mosquito. "You can talk?" you say, amazed that a mosquito can talk. "But of course," says Mr. Mosquito. "Allow me to mediate your general misunderstandings. But first, I must ask that you release Monsieur Itch." You think for a moment and realize this is very interesting, so you lift the glass and see your little fuzzball shouting and waving his fist at you. "And now please to be placing the glass on her side and to move your very scary fingernails away." "Oh, okay then," you say. Mr. Mosquito gestures for Mr. Itch to get in the glass. "Entrez." Mr. Itch now sees he's a bit safer and gets in the glass. "But I saw you die. I saw fingernails kill you." "Mais no, fingernails did not kill me." "But I saw you die." "No, that was a different," you interrupt. Mr. Mosquito turns to you and says, "At, if I may." "Go ahead." "Merci. That was a different mosquito." "So you're not Mr. Mosquito?" "I am Monsieur Mosquito." "So you're all called Mr. Mosquito?" "Oui." What about girl mosquitoes, you ask? "All blood-sucking mosquitoes are female," replies Mr. Mosquito. "So you're female, but you're still called Mr. Mosquito," you say. "Oui." "Well, that's confusing. What are male mosquitoes called?" "We don't give them names. They all eat flower nectar." "Oh," you and Mr. Itch both say. "I know. Disgusting, no? But I digress. The problem here with the two of you is a general lack of understanding." "You? Me?" you say. "Wait, you do not like to be having the itch. Is true or no?" "Is true? It's true. He makes me itchy. Just look at all that itchy fuzz. There is no need for racism." "And you?" says Mr. Mosquito, pointing to Mr. Itch. "Me? Oui, you do not like to be attacked by huge, nasty, disgusting fingernails. Is true or no?" "It's true. It's true. Those giant, nasty fingernails are evil and always trying to kill me." "Yes, disgusting fingernails and a disgusting creature." "Hey, I thought you said no racism." "Don't be so loud, you big monkey." "Now, Monsieur Itch, you would like to be saying something?" Yes. I am not your itch. I am my itch. You are mine, no? You are my home. Perhaps this is your home, but it would look a little bit better with some renovation, no? Is a little bit ugly, yes? Hey, I thought you said no racism. At, quiet, big monkey. I am the mediator. There is a silence. All right, now you speak. Thank you. As I was about to say, not you, big monkey. We listen now to Monsieur Itch. But, it's my, I am the mediator. Monsieur Itch, if you please. Thank you. You are my home, my sky, and unfortunately my enemy. Why must you constantly attack me? What did I ever do to you? You were the one attacking me, you say. You, What this time? You ask Mr. Mosquito. 4 o'clock, says Mr. Mosquito. No, why did you stop me again? Moi? Yes, you. You said at. Bless you. What? You sneeze, I say bless you. But I didn't. Never mind. You're the one attacking me, Itch. You make me itchy. I'm an itch. That's what I do, says Mr. Itch. You see, monkey, you cannot help it. Well, if I'm itchy, I have to scratch it. But why? Why do you keep trying to kill me? Why can't you accept him for who he is? Asks Mr. Mosquito, who points at you and adds, Racist. I'm not racist, you bloodsucker, you say. Mr. Mosquito lowers her head sadly. Mr. Itch puts his arm around her shoulders, and Mr. Mosquito scratches herself surreptitiously. You're mean, says Mr. Itch to you. A big, mean, ugly monkey, adds Mr. Mosquito. I guess I was a bit racist for calling you a bloodsucker, you admit. Well, at least you can admit when you are wrong. And what about you? You called me a big, mean, ugly... That is not all about you. Why do you have to attack me with your giant fingernails? Nasty, nasty, dirty fingernails. Hey, it's because itchiness feels bad, but scratching the itch feels good, you say. So what you are trying to say is that you ought to be feeling better after scratching, asks Mr. Mosquito. Yes, but I wouldn't be scratching if I wasn't itchy, you respond. Try it. What do you mean? Scratch now while you are not itchy. Oh no, people don't scratch themselves when they're not itchy. Scratch. You decide it won't hurt, so you scratch your unitchy arm a little bit. How was that? Not very good. I didn't really like it, you reply. And yet you say it feels good if it is itchy first, and then you scratch it. I guess. Would I be wrong in presuming that you are glad to have enjoyed the pleasures of a good scratch throughout your life? No, I'm glad I've had scratches. And given that you don't like scratching unless you are itchy, you must also be glad that you have had itches. I never thought of it that way, you admit. Then why are you trying to kill my best friend? Demands Mr. Mosquito, hugging Mr. Itch with 2 arms and pointing at you accusingly with 2 others. We really only just met, says Mr. Itch to Mr. Mosquito, but I'm sure we'll be best friends soon. Of course, says Mr. Mosquito, lowering her arms. So I hope you will not be offended if I scratch away. Thank God, says Mr. Mosquito, who begins frantically scratching herself. I didn't know you had feelings when I was trying to kill you, you tell Mr. Itch. And I didn't know that fingernails had a head that could talk. Here is what I think. You like scratching after being itchy, but not all the time, and you like to be free to wander around your home and have picnics. Am I right? Yes, you and Mr. Itch both say. Bon, so you, Monsieur Itch, need to start wearing clothes instead of walking around naked all the time. But you're naked. And you, whatever your name is, my name is... We call you Big Monkey, reinterrupts Mr. Mosquito. We wait until Monsieur Itch has finished his picnic before you scratch. Agreed? How long does it take for you to have a picnic? You ask Mr. Itch. 3 seconds. And how many picnics per day? 34, replies Mr. Itch. So you want me to remain itchy for 3 seconds, 34 times a day for the rest of my life, so I don't hurt you with my fingernails? You ask Mr. Itch. If you wouldn't mind, says Mr. Itch. Bon, you agree. And so by the power vested in me, by the MIP Foundation and all things that annoy people, I now pronounce you Big Monkey and Itch, you may now return to your home, says Mr. Mosquito. Thank you, Mr. Mosquito. Be sure to visit, says Mr. Itch as he bounces like a flea onto your hand, then shoulder, then inside your ear a bit, then onto your head, then down the back where he settles in for the night. You instantly go to scratch the itchiness away. At, says Mr. Mosquito. I nearly forgot, you say. 3, 2, 1. After the safety countdown, you scratch and scratch and scratch. Ah, scratching is the best. Replies Mr. Mosquito, who is also scratching herself furiously. I was waiting for him to go before I scratched myself. It just makes you so itchy, no? I guess that's why he's called Mr. Itch, you realize. Duh, insults Mr. Mosquito. And now there is just a matter of my payment. What payment? This counseling session. I think we made real progress here today, no? You thought this was free. So how much do you want? Only 1 milliliter? You rest your tired head on your hands. Oh, no. Merci, replies Mr. Mosquito, who opens her little briefcase, takes out her napkin, and prepares for breakfast. You lower your arm. Whatever. Bon appetit. You are a good person after all, says Mr. Mosquito. A little bit racist, of course, but delicious all the same. She flies over to the vein on the inside of your elbow with a soft meep, lands with a zut, injects her nose into your bloodstream, and sucks the blood right out of your arm. I hope Mr. Itch is happy and safe at home on my back. Maybe I should buy him a little outfit. Do you know what size he wears? You say. Ganz bock, eeping, replies Mr. Mosquito. Somewhere on your back, in a place you can't quite reach, Mr. Itch nestles into bed, cozy and safe with the knowledge that he will always have 3 seconds before your giant fingernails tear through the sky again, trying to kill him. The end.